Excuse me, I've just watched Teach Yourself One Day Spanish, the DVD. Is this the class to learn the Spanish pronunciation?
Yes, but you missed the fun bit. We are just coming to the serious part. Anyway, there's a spare chair. Now we come to the serious part, because let's face it, you can't speak Spanish if you don't know how to pronounce it. Okay, but it's very quick and it's very easy and it's good fun. Okay, so now I start with the English pronunciation, and I think we all manage this. That in my book is A-E-I-O-U, and you don't have to say it because you know it already. My first language is German, so I had to learn it, but I still remember it's A-E-I-O-U. We all agree on that. Okay, so you can toss that one away, toss it over here, and we'll go for the Spanish pronunciation now. This is the Spanish pronunciation, okay, right? And it's miraculously changed to, and I'll say it first, and then you can have a go after me. Okay, A-E-I-O-U. You say A-E-I-O-U. There we are, not you and not eyes. A-E-I-O-U. Let's do the lot. A-E-I-O-U. Casa. Can we say that? Casa. Past. And then we'll have, what is it? Dias. Yes, not dias. Dias. Okay, wipe that I from your mind. It's always an E. Dias. Okay, and they don't get combined one at a time. Dias. There we are. That's the R finished. We proceed to the E, and that's a simple one. There we have S. S. And here we have a good one, meaning good, good. It's bueno, bueno. Yes is the answer. C. C. Because we have now arrived at the letter E. E. Nothing to do with I. E. R-A-E. Okay, C. And here's another one. Coffee without milk. I think we all know café con leche. When you have stepped into Spain, you always know about café con leche. But this is the word which you want a black one. Then you can say café sin leche. Sin. And we're on to letter O, as you got it. We're now into con. Con. Okay, we go to the U, and that of course is un. Un. Right, easy. And another one, just the fellow one, which is una. And what does this mean? It means costs. All right. So we say cuesta. Cuesta. Okay. Can the back row say it? Cuesta. And the middle row? Cuesta. And the front row? Cuesta. Okay. Very good. Right. Now those were the vowels. On to the other lot. What are they called? The ones which aren't vowels. Anybody grammatically able to tell me what they're called? Consonants, right. Who's been to school lately? Some people have been. Right. So, we're starting with a very funny fellow, because he doesn't actually exist. This is the reason why when you meet a Spaniard telephoning you in London, he will say, "Hello, I am here." And why does he say that? Hello, I am here. Because they don't have an H in Spanish. They write it, but they don't say it. So this is, of course, nothing. A nothing letter. Okay, I've now messed everything up, but never mind. So, the famous magazine and the greeting is, in fact, hola. And then we have one which is very difficult because you just love getting it wrong, so you won't get it wrong because I'm stamping it out right at the beginning. It is nothing to do with fodder for animals, right? Okay? It is pronounced, who will going to risk it? Hey. No. I. Where was my I? Yeah, I will trick you, right? I. What does it mean? What does it mean? Does anybody know? No, you can't know. You can't possibly know, because it is so hard. Okay. It means there is, or is there, if you ask a question. Is there a bank? Hay un banco. I. When you don't know if there's something you're looking for exists. It's a very, very useful word. And again, this is not, and I won't say it wrong because then you learn it wrong. So let's get that right the first time. Okay. The middle row has been selected to read this word correctly.
Ahora.
Very good. Split it, you know. Wait at the H if you can't say it all in one smooth go, just go ahora, ahora. Pretend the H isn't there, ahora, but never throw in the H. Okay, good. Let's say it all. Ahora. What about the one before, the one about the animal fodder? What was that? I. Yeah. Okay, good. We've now come to, well, looks easy, but it is in fact the one for the Scots. It's the h, and for the Germans. Any Germans here? Yes, good, right. Then they don't have a problem. They can actually just pronounce it for all of it because it's in the throat. Okay, would you like to give a go?
Julio.
Julio. Did you hear? With the greatest ease, she did Julio. Julio. Right. Now here's another one. It looks like Lucky 11 or Lucky Legs or something, but it is in fact a printed double L. Okay. Now the printed double L, or the double L in a word, is quite difficult because it's sort of a bit of one and a bit of the other. It's a bit like the y in million, the y, okay? And sometimes it's just a sort of slurry y like in yes. So take for example the word for road, right? You might hear something like calle or calle with the L sort of in there, but don't worry about it. Near enough is good enough. Okay, so if you say calle or calle, nobody's going to fall over and say, I don't know what you mean. Okay. The same as this unknown small place on the Costa del Sol, which is not called Marbella, of course. That we do know. That I think we all know. There's no double L in the normal way. It is Marbella. So it's sometimes a little bit of an L, but if you are a bit of a lazy, then you can just say Marbella and make it a Y. Right, and the sister's town is? Sevilla. Okay, Sevilla. It sounds so beautiful, doesn't it? Let's say it again beautifully. Sevilla. Lovely. Okay, then we have Ñ. Now we have really Ñ, like in Niet. That's why this place is called España. España. Right? And why a year in your life is called un año. Now we come to K. We come to something new called K. K, like in kettle. Okay. K. K. Q-U is a sort of K. Okay. Alright, that's why we say K. K, K, alright, you heard that a few times, huh? K, K, alright, in all versions. K, meaning of course? What? Yeah, you know that one already. You're advanced first beginners. I think you'll get the...
what's in it on the side there, see?
Sorry?
It has the question.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
That
Now you
tells us.
see I have these printed, and you see they were mean. They didn't have enough space on this card, and the printer was very bad. Very good point, very good point. Any question in Spanish has two question marks. One at the beginning, upside down, and one at the end, properly. Isn't that great? So you know exactly where the question starts and where it finishes. That is so good. I really like it. And I have it on my keyboard too. And it's very impressive for my friends when I send them things with two question marks. They also want one. They can't have it. Okay, right. The same goes for here. Same applies again. It should have another question mark. But since we are only pronouncing, not writing long letters, it's okay, right? So this is who, all right? Quién, quién, quién. Not quiz, quién. The pure k. Quién. Right, and we have, oh, here's a good one for the Germans, for the Scots, for the anybody who has a bit of Mediterranean feeling, huh? This is what we want, the Mediterranean. So what is this? It's not an R, it's a R, 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 R. Yes, lady at the back. Yes, R. That was a good one, yes. You can be an honorary Scot and German. Okay, for the day. Right. So we now have, what do we have? We have dinero. Dinero. Yes, yes. Do we have it or don't we have it? Mucho dinero. Yes, dinero. And here comes my favorite word, for which I'm famous in my classes, because I make everybody to do it ad nauseam. It is called aburrido. Now there are two in them. There are very few double letters in the Spanish language, but when they are there, We want to hear them. So it's aburrido. 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 Very good, very good. I keep that aside. I give that to somebody as a prize. All right. We're almost there because this is, exactly, somebody knew that. Somebody has had a private lesson before coming here. It's a the. Okay, it's a the. So, those shoes are zapatos. Now, this is difficult this time now for anybody who's not English, because in German there is no the. So we all have to learn it with a pencil behind our teeth to say the. Okay? And the Spanish know it already, like the English. It's a the. Zapatos. Zapatos. Okay? And also, if you want a beer and you want to get it right, you better say cerveza. Cerveza. Yeah, can we all say that with gusto? Because some of you are beginning to doze off, I can see it. Right. So let's say cerveza. Yeah. And let's have two of them, in which case we add an S. Dos cervezas. And now we add please. Dos cervezas, por favor. Okay, now you say it without me.
Dos cervezas, por favor.
There you are. Lesson 1 and you're already ordering beer in large quantities. The reality. Now here are a couple of PSs, and they are kind of a bit nasty. And sometimes you get them wrong. But it doesn't matter. That's first of all the C, right? The C, which comes in two guises, because it can be a K, like in casa, okay? So we'll start with those first, but it has got another side to it. So I just have to keep it under my arm. Okay, right. So here's casa, and here is place down the road, a little bit further down the road, down the ship. It's called Cuba. Not, we won't say that. It is Cuba, because the U is an U, remember? Cuba. And then we have, again, a C, just like in English, Clinica, una clinica. Okay, we can say that too. But now here comes the other side to it. When the C, and that is the grammatical rule for those who quickly want to remember it, when the C is followed by an E or an I, it changes its close and it becomes a th, just like that Z. Th. That's why it's not centimos, it is centimos. It's not centimos, rather. It's not centimos, it is centimos. Okay. And it is also small town, small village up the coast, Barcelona. You see, if you want to be Spanish speaking, you can no longer say that word which we're not going to say, you know, with an S in the middle. This is not an S, it's got a C, it has to have a lisp, and it's called Barcelona. Now, the byproduct of this is when you go to South America, where they don't lisp, okay, they speak without the lisp. They say, for example, Barcelona, and you come say, no, it's Barcelona. They say, oh, señor, señora, you speak Castellano, you come from the mother country, Spain, and you can say, sí, de Barcelona. Okay, and that, of course, we will also know always it is called cinco, okay? As I say, South Americans will say cinco, and it sounds very, very odd to me now. And here we say, in Spain, we say cinco. Okay, so that's the C done away with. All right. Now, yes, the G. The G is a fellow to the C. It also comes in two guises. First of all, it is a G, like we have in English. G, okay? Like in Grande, I can dismiss of him now. Remember? Two kinds. So the G is the twin to this. So that's the G, which is like a G normally, except in a minute again, and I'll let you guess. First of all, we have grande. Okay, I want to hear that R again. Grande. Okay. And then I want to have this one. Now this is for men only, right? Golf. Nothing wrong with golf. Okay. Now this is for the ladies because it means pretty. All right. Good looking. Guapo. Un chico guapo. I un chico guapo. Now what would that mean? Is there. Un chico, what is a chico? A chap, huh? Right? Aquí. Okay, what is aquí? Anybody know aquí? You heard it before. It means here. So what did I say just now? Hay un chico guapo aquí? Is there a good-looking fella around here? Ladies, what's the answer? Sí or no? We won't have the answer. We're not saying. Oh, now we come to the two bad ones. Bad ones, because it's G followed by an E and G followed by an I. And again, everything changes, and we have to call on the Germans again to help us, because now the word becomes a H again. Gente. Gente. Okay, which means people. Gente. And here's another place. It is not called Gibraltar, it is called Gibraltar. Gibraltar. So on one hand, it is, as the Spanish say, Gatwick, and on the other end we have Gibraltar. Okay, now you can fly with confidence. I've got a few little sentences here, and one, in fact, we sort of practiced already in parts, but now I want you to say it really beautifully, all in a row, because no good just being able to read one word or one letter. In future, you are going to read a whole sentence. Okay, so let's just try that together. I'll read it first, and then you can copy me. Quiero un café sin leche. So, first of all, we say it word by word, and then we'll say it all in a row. Huh? Quiero un café sin leche. Okay, now we'll say it, try to say it fast. Quiero un café sin leche. Give you one tip here. When I learned Spanish, and I was very bad, now I'm just bad, when I was very bad, right, I compensated by saying everything terribly fast, and people say, gosh, you speak good Spanish, you know. I just said it all fast, never mind the mistakes, I just ran with it. And I can always recommend it. Practice it at the cashier in the supermarket. Just say something like, ¿Cuánto cuesta? Something like that, very fast, or no tengo un tomate, or something like that, you know. Eso no es mío. Say it fast, and you know, and they'll be stunned. Yes, just say it fast. Okay, right. Okay, so let's say it fast. Quiero un café con leche. Okay, right. Oh, sin leche. Sorry, again. Quiero un café sin leche. Faster. Quiero un café sin leche. Now this is a very useful one. It means speak more slowly, please. Hable, no H, huh? Hable más despacio, por favor. Yeah? Hable más despacio, por favor. Now this one you can't say fast, because if you can say it fast, they think you can actually say it well. So this one you have to say laboriously. Hable más despacio, por favor. The last one, the final one, which will make them all smile, and which will bring tears to their eyes, and they will invite you to their homes, and you know, all that sort of stuff. This is a sentence to the heart of the Spanish. Okay. No hablo español, pero lo estoy aprendiendo. Okay. I do not speak Spanish, in brackets yet, but I am learning it. Okay, aprendiendo. Okay, let's say that a little bit better. No hablo español, pero lo estoy aprendiendo. Okay. The last bit of learning, and that is where to put the stress. Where, in fact, goes the stress. Now we come to the terrible twins, the ones that give me a lot of grief and lose me a lot of heels on my shoes, because when I teach these two, then very often, unfortunately, I get this one when I want this one. This is this. Okay, this. Let's just put that under my arm. Now, this one means, well, first of all, let's read it. Está, and it means he, she, it, is, or even you are. Now that's miles away from this, right? Okay, so we have really a significant difference, and it's only expressed by the stress. And this is why I'll tell you right in your very first lesson of learning Spanish that stress is very important. Stress has to be in the right syllable, because a Spaniard will get totally confused because you're saying a different word, meaning one, and another one comes out simply by putting the stress wrong. So that's why I do all this stamping. In Spanish, for the stressing of where the stress goes, where the weight goes, it goes onto the penultimate syllable. Now that sounds very grammatical. It means not the last part of the word, but the one before. Okay, now where's the one before? If we cut this into syllable, it would be esta, right? 2 syllables. So it goes on the penultimate, counting from the back, it goes into There. All right, that's the last one. That's the ultimate, and that's the penultimate, the last but one. So it's esta. Good. So just as a little quick practice, we now have vamos. And this would be now, I've got a lot here, huh? Okay. Ordenadores. I didn't put a stress yet because I was going to ask you where it goes in a minute, okay? But what does it mean? These are computers, believe it or not. Things that make things orderly. Well, I would dispute that. But anyway, in Spanish they are ordenadores. So where does the stress go? On the? Right, okay? Ordenadores. Can we say that? Ordenadores. Right. And the very last one. And that is the telephone. And there is a rule breaker. You see, where should it be? And that's why we hear it so often. Because it's quite normal. You don't have to count. You do it automatically, you see. So don't worry about it. You'll always automatically will put the stress on the penultimate. But you'll also do it with this one because you ignore that little stress, says, I want it here. And the many times I have heard, I'm sure you have possibly said it yourself, do you have a telephono? You know, and it's not a telephono for starters. At worst, at best, it would be a telefono. But at very best, of course, it should be telefono. Telefono. Okay? There we are, you know all about the stress. Now we shall do the one-act play. The reason is because no good you sitting there, I'm doing all the talking, you smile, occasionally you open your mouth and you occasionally join in when the other people are doing it as well, undercover, so to speak. But any moment now, like starting this afternoon, you'll be out there in the street and you want to say something, right? You want to say something like, quiero un café sin leche. Let's hear it.
Quiero un café sin leche.
Muy bien. And then we have another question.
¿Dónde está la carretera?
¿Dónde
Está. La
Está. Right, la carretera. Okay. And?
No hablo español, pero lo estoy aprendiendo.
Muy bien. So, to finish off, and for everybody to have a break before the real work starts, we'll have the Spanish pronunciation play. Okay, come to the front.
Sorry, have to skip the one-act play. I'm off to Spain for some real-life practice. Hasta luego!